Wealth Connect Roundtable Special Edition. And I have my girls with me, Miss Shavonna Johnson and Miss India Kershaw. So I'll
Good
go
morning.
by way of introducing myself really quick and turn it over to you ladies. For those of you who may not know me yet, my name is Sean Venable. I like to introduce myself as the Wealth Mindset Motivator. So I help 9 to 5 corporate athletes, entrepreneurs, and business owners obtain financial freedom and build generational wealth primarily through real estate. And I do it with things just like this by bringing amazing people to you so that you can learn more around real estate investing and making smart decisions. So, Shavana, who you are, what you do, how you add value, and what does generational wealth mean to you?
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for asking, Sean. Good morning, everyone. My name is Shavonna Heron Johnson. I am the owner of East Coast Property Management Service, East Coast Residential Estates, and 3D Professional Services. I am a well-rounded person in property management as well as in the construction industry. I how do I add value? I add value by my knowledge. My knowledge is my power. I connect, different clients with different uh, and I'm so sorry that my words got a little caught up there. I do apologize. But I connect clients with the right construction team to get their dream to become their reality when we go in and do the renovations. I pick specific teams for specific clients based upon the client's needs. So that's how I add value. I don't just send one particular team in just because they can do everything. I want to make sure that the tenant and techs, like I want to make sure that everything works out, make sure that their personalities connect. I just want to make sure that the job goes smooth and easy.
And guess what? You do add value because you've added value so much to my life. And last question for you: what does generational wealth mean to you and your family?
Generational wealth for me and my family, the Johnsons, it's empowering because I need it to flow through from me, my husband, which we're the head of our pyramid, and just flow down to our children and our grandchildren, just to make sure that we add this knowledge to them, whether they want to follow in our footsteps or if they want to branch out, but at least we give them the knowledge on how to build and how to be successful.
Well, come on, Miss Empire. I love it. Miss India, come on, give us that great introduction. Who you are, what you do, how you add value, and what does generational wealth mean to you, sweetheart?
Hello, hello, and thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here with this awesome set of ladies here. So, I am a broker owner here in the Raleigh Durham area for Sims and Kershaw Realty and Kershaw Realty Group. And really, what I do is we all know that real estate can be overwhelming, especially with the Google state or Google real estate school everybody goes to. So, what I do is help everyone just kind of comb through that, whether you're looking to buy, invest, sell, or both. And I do that, and I feel my value is I do that with integrity. I've said a lot. I do feel like integrity is kind of a lost word and art in our society sometimes. And basically, the way I do business is if I wouldn't really do it for myself, I wouldn't recommend my client to do it. Simple as that. And for generational wealth, two words come to mind as resources and options. And that's what I want to leave for the generations behind me.
So I'm just going to tell the audience this is why I rock with you two ladies. It's amazing. I'm also going to go ahead and put a disclaimer out there. Miss Shavana is a very busy woman. She is like a female boss. We call it what in these what India construction streets.
Construction. These construction streets.
So
I'm
because
telling
this is
y'all,
I
honey.
love that one.
so because this is real time and we want to bring you the realness, right? Miss Shavana may get a call and you may eavesdrop on something that she does because she is so busy.
You really might.
And then she'll come back, she'll answer the question. She'll be like, no, no, no. I told you. No, that is not
Yeah,
what's supposed to go there. Yes, ladies, that is exactly what should be done. I agree with
yeah,
you. What we'll do here. No, just go ahead and
yeah.
order that and I'll call you back. Thank you. I'll be like, girl, you better juggle it.
It's
Y'all
real.
got me so down back. It's funny.
I love it. And this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring people real information. But see, that's amazing that
Yeah.
you'll get free information from someone who's busy. Indigo, you are busy. You are
She is a
productive.
busy woman. Yes, she
Yes,
is.
you are productive women. And so I just want to say thank you for taking a few minutes on this special holiday edition to give these gems.
Well,
Absolutely.
thank you for inviting us. It's a pleasure.
Mm.
Absolutely. All right, Miss India, I'm going to bounce over to you. So Real estate, real estate, real estate. A lot of people don't know, they're not familiar with a lot of the terminology. So, can you explain, just in layman's terms, what is a buyer's market versus what is a seller's market?
Absolutely. So right now we are in a seller's market, meaning there are fewer homes available compared to the number of people, the number of buyers who would like to purchase. We've been in this for quite some time. The numbers are trending that we're going to be in it for a little bit longer. So my advice, if you are a seller and you are feeling like you really want to cash in on this, like yesterday was the day, and they say the next time to, what is it? If you did not plant a tree like 5 years ago, the best time to plant the tree is what, today? So if you didn't sell yesterday, if you didn't sell last year, then you should probably do it now. For buyers, typically too, just a little bit of information, when the inventory is kind of like this and our market's the way it is, interest rates are typically a little bit lower. And that's what we've seen, what has really helped with buyers, because even though the home prices are a little bit on the elevated side there, or our favorite word right now, inflated, your interest rate kind of helps with that. Versus when we have a little bit more of a balanced market, your interest rate usually is a little bit higher. If you are a buyer, my number one tip is make sure you have some cash flow. Cash, we know, is always king, but right now you definitely need to be able to bring some additional money to the table and to save. This is definitely not the market to try to get in to buying a home with a couple $100, and that's just honest.
I was trying to unmute because that was so good. I have one more question for you in terms of that. With this buyer's market, right? It's a buyer's market.
It's a seller's market.
So see, that's what I'm saying. You're educating me. With the seller's market, is there any other feedback that you would give us in terms of just being smart with your money and smart in making decisions?
So even though it is very competitive, as a buyer, my thing is, if it's not going to be your forever home, it's okay to make a few what I call concessions. Don't settle, but concessions. And to be honest, that you're going to do that regardless. I don't care what price point you're at. I don't care what market we're in. There is no such thing, and I know Shavonna will attest to this, and Sean, you can too. There's no perfect house. No such thing. But if you are willing to make the concessions, go for it. But don't purchase a house just for the sake of purchasing a house. And I know some agents might be like, but I'm just saying, I don't want you calling me in a year and telling me that you were unhappy with where you are because you felt like you needed to buy into the craze. So I'm not going to tell you to for sure buy right now, but if it is good for you, if you can find a house that you are willing to make that investment, because today you will make an investment, you more than likely will go over purchase price. Just make sure that it's what you want, for sure.
And you just sparked it, because to be honest with you, it's real life. Like, I forgot the question, and I was like, man, there was something I wanted to ask her. How have you seen like people bidding over, or giving more money and you're paying over the purchase price? Have you seen a craze in that area?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I had a client for due diligence. We put in just under, I think it was 15,000, and we paid 20 grand over.
Oh.
They had the means to do that. It actually appraised, and they ended up with $1,000 of equity when we closed. Okay. So that's the other part of that is, yes, you do want to make a really good bid, but you want to make sure that the agent you're working with is doing due diligence on the comps, because you don't want to be in a situation where it won't appraise. And if it doesn't appraise, you need to be prepared to have that cash that I was talking about before to make up the difference. And what was the other part of the question? Look at there.
No, that was it. It was just like the bidding wars. It just seems like you're seeing so much with that.
It is. And that's because there's probably 20 buyers for every house at minimum.
Oh, wow. Yeah. All right, Ms. Boss Construction up in these streets. Do you have any questions for India before I ask you?
I have one question. Yay! So when do you anticipate the interest rates going up, and when do you anticipate the housing prices to level out and go down, if any?
Now, I would say if I knew that, honey, I would be partying with Bill Gates and the rest of the crew. For sure. But the interest rates right now are already ticking up. But right now, from everything that I've seen from like Altos Research, Inman News, pretty much we're going to continue this same upward trajectory of pricing. They said probably for the next couple years. So we really never know. But all I know is, especially if you're trying to buy, and especially if you're wanting to sell, there's just no better day than today, because even the experts are making their best educated guess, and we have absolutely no idea. It takes just a little bit, right, for the economy to take a sharp turn, and interest rates are based on the stock market, and we know how that goes.
Whew. Did that answer your question? Because that was good.
I was gonna say, I know when to defend you.
That was perfect. I'm so sorry. So
No, fine.
no, look, I'm answering this call. I'm sorry. So next thing, like how long are houses staying on the market right now at this time?
So it really depends on obviously the areas, but really people are highest and best within 24 hours when you are in prime locations. So if you're a buyer and you see something, don't only just save it on whatever site you're on. You need to contact your agent and start to get over there, because more than likely, it's like I said, especially if it's in these really popular areas, they're going to have multiple offers.
Shavonna, we need to get out and
And
get
that's
some
when
fucking fruit.
we need to be out there. So, and then I guess my final question would be, how do you know, because you were saying earlier, like, just don't buy a house to buy a house. But if you love it, you want it, it's overpriced right now, do you grab it and then in a couple of years your value, when prices kind of stabilize or go down, now do you feel like, am I going to be upside down in this?
And that's a good question. And a lot of people think that. So one, I will say, if when you walk into a home, you instantly know, right? Like I always tell people, it's like my 10-second rule, and 10 seconds is the max. You get an instant feeling, either like, okay, you know what, this is probably going to work. And you just go from room to room, right? Or you get that initial feeling like, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm feeling this home. So I always tell clients, go immediately with your first thought, and then we can kind of back in or out of things. If you really, really want it, it's going to be your forever home. I say go for the gusto, because you're not planning on selling, right? But even if you feel like you're going to do the standard time on a home, which is around like 6 years or so, I still say do it. As they have said, again, you can't fully predict, but housing prices are continuing to go up. And there's a slide I wish I had, but we had it at our conference showing just the progression of profit that people make over 10 years. So there would have to be something like catastrophic to happen for it to just go completely back. We won't ever be back at the regular kind of starter home price of $175,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet. Those days are long gone, and the pricing is reflecting that. So do I think there's going to be some, if you pay...
Those were the good old days.
Yeah,
they
were, and they long gone. We can talk about that.
I always said, I'm just thinking now, my daughter just turned 19 yesterday. My oldest one, she turned 21 in June. I said for their first birthday, their 21st birthday, I've always wanted to buy them their own home. But it was at a price point of 100 to 150, get your nice, cute little house. And now she turned 21 this year, and it's like, Mama, you were not prepared to spend $200,000 on a starter home for a 21-year-old. The prices have definitely changed.
And $200,000, that's for you, because you can fix it up. I'm gonna be honest, because that $200,000, it's not going to be completely move-in ready. I mean, depending, you're going to have to do some type of tweaks or whatnot. But to the point of, if you pay 50 grand over today, will you see that return in, 6 years or so? To be honest, I can't guarantee it, but more than likely, because we're trending to continue to go up. Can we sustain this skyrocket that we're doing, this kind of rocket ship of prices? Not necessarily, honestly, but they have shown that we're probably never going to have that type of crash that we had several years ago. Mortgage companies have a lot of really strict guidelines in place to keep that from happening nowadays. It is a lot harder to qualify. And obviously when you do qualify, now you got to qualify for a really high amount just to even be able to get a home. So all of that plays a part. I do feel like you'll still be able to get that. You'll get what your house is worth. You gonna pay over list price, but again, if it appraises today, you're probably in a pretty good situation. Again, can't guarantee it, but
India, I have a question for you because I'm seeing a lot now where, and then Shavonna, get ready because I got a question for you too. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot now. Like 20 years ago, when I purchased my first home, we saw some homes. We contacted a realtor. We went to go look at them. It was almost like kind of an afterthought. Then we saw if we were pre-qualified. It was a weird combination. Now, when you go to look at a home, they want a pre-qualification letter up front, even to show you the home. So
Mhm.
tell me a little bit about that.
What is that about?
Yeah.
Mostly so, okay. I see that a lot depending on if you are like in the higher price points. If you are probably north of $700,000, a lot of the listing agents and homeowners want to have pre-approvals because let's be real, you don't want looky-loos, especially when it's occupied and you're living there. Do you really want to be displaced from your home for people who kind of just want to see what a almost $1 million home looks like? Because, you know, that's what people do, right? Yeah. So on that end of it, I would always recommend someone having a pre-approval to be able to look at it. Because why would you look at something that you can't even purchase? So there's that. For some of these others, they just want to weed out people and they're trying to be as strict as they can. Like if you can't even purchase this home or you don't even have the means up front, then you don't even need to come and look at it. And typically that's when it's occupied that I've seen that the most, because people just don't want to have to get up and leave their house when, you know, you're not even nowhere near qualified for it to purchase the home.
Thank you for that, because I started to see that a lot in the industry, and I was like, when did it switch? But that was 20 years ago versus now. So thank you for that. All right, Miss Boss Lady, construction up in these streets. You ready for me?
I am. I'm ready.
Listen, question for you is like, how did you even get started? Typically, we see a lot of males dominate in the general contracting construction space. You have a secret sauce of property management, construction, general contracting, all rolled up under your belt. So what is that like being a female in that particular, and you are doing it, like you are killing it in the game. What is it like for you? How'd you get started?
So and I'm not going to give you like this long drawn out spiel of how it got started, but I'll, give you, I was on site sitting as a property manager. My painter, he would come in and then he had other things under his belt. And I was just always intrigued of his, his work and how he did it. So one day I asked him, I says, well, I think I want to start my own business. How did you do that? What do I need to do? And then he said to me, he says, not serious. You're not serious. I said, I am serious. What do you mean? Show me how to make these kind of checks, because I would sign off, put his invoices in the system. I'm like, I want to make this kind of money. And so he and I talked, and he kind of showed me. I said, well, I'm going to just start out as a cleaning business. So then I, got the cleaning thing going. I wasn't making a whole lot of money with that. I probably had about, 15 apartment complexes under me doing their cleanings. And then the calls would start coming in. You wouldn't always make a whole lot of money, in cleaning back then, because it used to be 65, 75, 85 for 1, 2, and 3. So, go in and clean them apartments. Oh, my God. So I was like, I need to make a little bit more money than this. So then I added on painting to it. Then painting was like it was like low ones. Then you went to almost 2s. In the 2s was your highest back then to paint apartments. I said, you know what? I need a little bit more money than this. And I connected with a good friend of mine who worked for one of my clients now, American Homes for Rent. She got a job with them, and she said, why don't you come on over here and come on the maintenance side? I said, oh, okay. I said, tell me what I got to do. I filled out the vendor packet, up my insurance so I could get on their vendors list. At that time, I would just take, small work orders. And so I would actually utilize my maintenance staff from me sitting on site to go out after work to do the maintenance calls, go in, change a light bulb, unstop a toilet. I'm like, you got to go here, Ricky, after 5. You got to go here, that kind of thing. And so we would actually split the tickets at that point.
Oh, wow.
And so if I was making 150 for the job, I would pay them 75. I keep 75. So then we got that rolling. Once we got it good, it was like, okay, if I can do that here in Raleigh, we can open up another market. Then I would open up another market. Then I open up another market. Then I open up another market. So after being with them for a while, other investment companies came into the market doing the same thing. So I got on their maintenance side, and then I stayed on AH4R's maintenance side. Well, as they seen I got seasoned and, caught on really well, they offered me to come in and did I want to come on their turn side. Then I got in on the turn side with these companies, and then, so that, when you say turn, that means you're getting it ready to turn it over for the next tenant to move in, which means it was already, in production, like it was already in the pot. So one tenant moved out, you're getting ready for another tenant to move in. Once I got that going, got that under the belt, then they came back and said, are you ready to do some renovations for us? Do you got the team and the manpower and this and that? I said, yeah. I mean, it's no different, right? We're just putting in some countertops and some tubs and this and that. I mean, yeah, come on, throw me one. Look, throw me one, and if I can't do it, whatever. Well, lo and behold, the first one I went to was a mansion. I said, you ain't tell me that you were setting me up like this, Mr. Rick. That's not true. He said, girl, you can do anything. Me and him at this time had probably been working for like 5 years, right, between maintenance and turns. So I go in. We paint it. It was like 10,000 square feet. We paint the house from head to toe. We go in, gut it, do everything he asked us to do. He coached me through the whole process. And so that takes me to today. I've been doing it ever since. Mr. Rick really pushed me to get into straight renovations, and I'm forever grateful for him. I told him just a couple weeks ago, I said, man, you are like my shining light. I appreciate you so much. He taught me a lot of everything that I know today.
Oh my God, that is an amazing story. I love your tenacity. And the only thing that I can hear through that is like, this ain't for the faint at heart. Definitely not.
Listen, and one thing you gotta know though is that you may be shaky, you may have anxiety, your day can go from wonderful to, oh my God, I just want to throw this phone across the field if you're not ready to keep up. Because now I'm not just in Raleigh where I started. I am all up and down the East Coast, and these guys are calling every second trying to figure out what they need. On top of, you have the management companies, their field managers, their regional managers calling at the same time. So it's a lot. And then you got your vendors. If you're using subs, you got those guys calling you. You got your purchase warehouses calling you. So you're constantly approving things. You're constantly trying to keep the guys on task. You're constantly trying to meet deadlines. Every day that a house is off the market, that's every day that client is losing money. So the goal is to get in and to get out and let them make that money, because at the average, it used to be about $75 a day. I feel like it's more on the upward of $200, depending on the house, the size of the house, between $150 and $200 a day, the more that you keep a house off the market.
Wow. See, you are so sweet.
So you gotta go. You gotta move.
You gotta go. How bad do you want it? I do have this
How
question.
Bad do you want it?
So that's a whole inside.
And I want it that bad. That bad. I wanted that bad that I would sit and say, I used to say, if I could do 12 orders a day times $200, times 30, this is my average amount of money that I'm going to make for the month. Then I went to go in and I would say, if I could make $50,000 a week times 10 markets, this is the kind of money I make. Then I went to saying, you know what, I started at the top. If I could make $10 million this year, divide that by 7 markets, divide that by, so that's how I break my markets down, and that's how I say who's going to do what and where you're going to go, because we got to go where the money is.
I love it. All right, my last question for you, Miss Money Billionaire. Last question.
I'm reaching. I'm reaching. I'm grabbing. I'm trying to catch it. I can see it. I can taste it.
Yes.
I can taste
it. Sure.
Mm-hmm. It might take the whole world to work with me to get it done, but I'm going to get there.
You're going to get it done. So my last question for you, and this is a question I think will really help people. I was very blessed and fortunate to find you. Indy, I was very blessed and fortunate to find you along my journey.
Yes, she is a blessing. Mm-hmm.
She is a blessing. So, Shavonna, for you in particular, people that are new in the real estate investment industry. They come in, they're trying to find a general contractor. They're trying to find someone that can help them from the renovation side. What tips would you give them? Because I've heard a lot of people that have lost a lot of money messing with the wrong people. So how do you find Mrs. Right?
That's good. Mhm.
So I will tell you, and that goes on even on my side. Do I want to take on a new client that may potentially not pay me, and then I have to sue you? You know, so that's a two-way street. That question, it really is. So basically, what happens is I do referral based only. I do not take on anyone if I'm not referred to them. And so I would say that for investors, you go based upon referrals, other than just looking on Kelly Blue Book, not Kelly Blue Book. What's that? The one for homes, you know, going. I don't
Oh,
rely on
like
the internet
Angie's
because you
List or
never know
something
who you're
like
gonna
that.
get. Yeah. Angie's List, all those, I can't take it. You be up a hill and up a creek somewhere, you know. So I really just try and go based on referrals. Even once I get a referral, I like to meet with them, pick their brains, see how much they know. Because if you don't know as much as I know, we might have a problem. Because I sometimes lean on you to tell me something, you know. So we at least got to come in and meet in the middle in that area. I also I give them one job to start out with. I look at what they can do, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier. I make sure I pair my teams with my investors that I know it's going to be a good fit, because one client may only want 1-inch blinds, the other one wants 2-inch blinds. One expects this quality of paint job, the other one expects this quality of paint job. So it all just depends on who my client is. That's how I pair them up. So you just want to make sure you're not just hiring someone that has a team, because every team is not going to get the job that you want done. So you just got to make sure that you have the bag to share amongst your different clients. Be very diverse, because every team can't do every job for every client. You've got to make sure they have a plethora of minded individuals working behind you to get the job done for each of your clientele.
Do you mind if I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's getting good.
So, Shavonna, for those people, so like in my head immediately, I heard like, brand new investors, maybe new to the area, like, well, I don't know anybody, so what would be your recommendation or places that they could go for to even try to start for referral? We all go, like I said, Google, but what would you like, any specific groups or just ideas for them to be able to start trying to get to know people to then ask for referrals?
I would, if they would go in, like, Facebook Market is a great tool, because you can see, like, when you ever go into Facebook Market and say, oh, this person has 10 friends, you guys have 10 friends of the same. So then I can look and be like, oh, well, let me see who the 10 friends are. Hey, what you know about this person? What are their, what's their personality like? Are they straight and are they up front? That type of thing. Just going based upon the tools that you have, such as a Facebook Market, where it'll tell you who you may be connected to. If you're in groups on Facebook, it'll tell you people who live in your surrounding area, different things of that nature. You can kind of see if they're connected to anyone that you're connected to try and reach out like that. Because even though you may not know off the top of your head, there's different tools, like such as, again, Facebook. I'm not on any other platforms. That's why I keep referring to that. But it'll tell you who's connected to who, and that way you can build your referral base from there and get, start interviewing them. You don't ever want to pick a contractor without reviewing them, getting their track record. How many homes are they turning in a month? How many, what can they handle? How many people do they have working with them? Do they do background checks on their people? Do they show up on site? These are things that you want to know about your contractor. And then your other question is, you can also ask your realtor, do they have any referrals? If they don't, they may know somebody who does. And then at that point, again, you just interview them, see if that's a good fit for you.
Awesome.
See, this is amazing. Listen,
when I go ahead. 9 times out of 10, your agent has worked with someone in either industry, whether it be plumbing, whether it be renovations. They've worked with someone to, that they can refer to you. They can't demand or tell you to use them, but they can certainly refer you to them.
That's very good.
Y'all, when I said that this was going to be like a special holiday edition, I did not realize they were going to get all this information wrapped up for Christmas.
Whoa, well, they better wrap it up, open the package, and start investing come 2022. That's what they better do.
Yes. Well, ladies, we are at our time. This has been phenomenal. Again, I want to thank you both, Shavonna, Miss India. You are so phenomenal. And people are starting to send in questions. So the next round that we have, we'll have a little fun with it because I'm just going to put the questions in a bowl and pick them out. And we're going to have some really, really good fun. Tammy wasn't able to join us today. She'll be back on the next segment. Miss Denise wasn't able to join us today. You know, I rock with her as my co-mod. She'll be back on the next session. But I thank you so very, very much. And to the audience, if you have any questions, if you have anything that you want to know, you want to send it in to us early, please do so because we want to make sure that you get the information that you need when you need it. All right, ladies, let's wave and sign off.
Have a good one.
Wonderful. Happy holidays.
Yes. All right.